Hi, this is Jonathan. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a little DIY project. We are going to be making a swim diaper that would fit up to 140 pounds and or somewhere around there. So let's dig in. We'll take a look at what that means, and you can do the same thing too. So to start off, well, this is what the finished product looks like. And it is not quite as long as a traditional good night, at least the bigger ones. If we stretch this out, there's about an inch difference, so that'd be an inch in the front and back. But as far as the across, it's going to be pretty dang close. So yeah, let's go ahead and make one. So the couple of things you'll need is you'll need a good night, and this is the box of what they look like, and you'll just need one of them. And from this good night, we're actually going to use the elastic sides. And then from the little swimmers, get the largest size you can. This is the large 32 plus pounds. And I've had these for a little while. I don't know if they really come any larger than 32 plus pounds, but if you can find some that are, all the better. So you've got these two items that we're going to need. You're going to need a hot glue gun, any one that you may have, and some hot glue sticks for that glue gun. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the little swimmer, and we're going to remove the elastic sides, and we'll need a pair of scissors for that. And on the goodnight, or on the little swimmer, we're starting here first. It's got this little flap on the outside, and we want to keep that because it's going to cover up the glue area where we're going to glue it. So do not cut off that. That'll help make it look seamless. And then on the inside, there's the same thing. So we don't want to cut it off either. We just want to cut off this turquoise blue. And so I'm just going to go ahead and cut right along the edge. That'll leave some of the stretchy material there, the elastic, as well as those flaps that I was talking about. So we'll just cut along here like this. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And then we're going to do the same thing on the back. Okay, and then we'll remove that. We've removed this piece, and this is, we can throw this away. And then we got to repeat it on the other side. And the back. I would guess if you wanted to try and get a little more width, you might be able to leave this on and you could seam it and use this along with the elastic from the Goodnight. But I've found that, at least for my size, that it works without needing to keep any of this. All right, so now we've got the little swimmer diaper all ready to go. And we're going to take the Goodnight And we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to cut right against the edge, because the diaper, the Goodnight diaper, we're not going to use in this project. You could use it as a diaper stuffer in another diaper at another time. Just punch some holes down here, and then you could use that as an insert, a stuffer in one of your diapers. But today we're just going to be using the elastic. So we'll go ahead and cut it off. I'm going to try and keep as much of it as I can. Okay, so that's cut off. And it doesn't look like, I was wondering, I can't remember if these pull off, but I don't think they do, so we'll just keep that on there. All right, and then we'll do the same thing on the back side. I'm just cutting right where the, not the cloth layer comes over, well, the cloth layer comes over, but where the under plastic layer ends. Just cutting right there. Okay, that's what that looks like. All right, and we'll do the same thing on the other side here. And the front. All right. So now that, as I mentioned, can be used as a stuffer in a future project or in your diaper. All right, so when we get these off, if we get them confused or which way they go, typically, you know, when it's new, this seam goes on the outside. So this would be the outside, not like that. So that's the outside, and the front's the shorter. So that's one of them, and that's two of them. And then we're going to find the little swimmer, and I want the front to match the front, and then this is the back. So now is what we're going to do is we're going to glue it together. And this back side's going to go on here, right under there like that. So let's flip it over. And we're going to fold up this little white area that I talked about earlier and fold that back. We're working on the back. And then we're going to take this and we're going to glue it all along like that. And you want your glue gun pretty warm. I've had it heating for a little while so that it does a good job at adhering the two together. So you just come along here, put a bead on here. You'll see it starts to curl up a little bit because it's so hot. And we'll just do a small section at a time so we can work with it. I did about an inch area. And We don't want to get it on the table. So let's put this under it. Okay, so we've got an inch done, so fold that back. And the glue gun does have two settings on it. I'm gonna flip, my particular one has a high temperature and a low temperature. I'm gonna flip it back because it's nice and warm now. So we're not trying to heat it up so much. And we'll do another inch. And just continue to seam that along. Like so. Gonna move the glue gun over here. But so you can still see what we're doing. And once you've done a few of these, if you get comfortable with it, you can do a longer stripe of glue. Just what you feel comfortable with working as you go. The glue is really hot, so be careful. You don't want to get it on your skin. Just continue along here. We'll go the rest of the way. And just like that. Okay, let that cool off, and as it does, the adhesive will stick really well. And now we've got this little flap that we kept, right? And so that can come over top. And we'll just put a really little bit of glue to hold that down. It's really just to make it look seamless, like it came that way. So we'll just put a little bit, just a little bit. And then just flip that over, hold it in place. Okay. There we go. Now the good night is the elastic's a little bit longer than what really it can accommodate. So we can just take and trim off this extra. And it's at an angle, and so I like to kind of follow that angle a little bit. So we'll just come up here and we'll just trim it down here like that. So we'll remove that section, and that's what it ends up looking like. Okay, got to do that a few more times. So we're glued up there, and that's what it looks like on the inside as well. But once you have it on, you're not going to see the inside anyway. Got a little bit on me. All right. So while I'm at it, and I've got the same cut so that they're equal, I'll take this piece I cut off and line that up here on this one and cut it now. That way it will match pretty closely. So just using it as a pattern. Okay. All right, so now let's glue this one on. This is kind of hanging off here a little bit. I'm gonna trim that off. Okay. Make sure we line it up right, so getting it on there correct. And again, we're going to fold back this top piece. And then we're going to glue this on here like this. And we'll start again and just do about 1 inch. And I like to start with the top so you can line it up. Nicely. You can see the glue's cooled down a little bit, so it's not curling the elastic, which, you know, I guess if it's curling it, you know it's super hot and it's going to really adhere. So you kind of want that balance, but if it curls up too far, then it's kind of a mess and you can't get it stuck down. So I'll turn the glue gun back up a little bit and we'll keep going here. Just keep following that along. And I think we can take it the rest of the way now. Okay. This side hangs over a little bit more. We'll just trim that a little bit more. Okay, now the main gluing's complete, so now we'll fold our little white flap over and cover up that seam. And it's really just to hold that over. You don't have to get too crazy with the glue. You actually want a little bit less so that the material is pretty thin and you don't necessarily want it to soak through. Okay. All right, that is the back. So that'll continue to cool off and solidify that. So now we will switch to the front. So again, we'll fold back our little cover. And I'm going to trim this off again. Be careful not to cut into the blue. And we'll start again at the top and start gluing again. Do make sure that you have something under it because the glue, if you get a little too much, it does squish out the backside and it will stick to the table or whatever you're working on. So I just put the good night that we're not going to be using there. And the last little bit here. goes a little quicker on the front side. It's not as long, and it matches up perfect. No need to shorten it. Okay. Fold over our little cover piece. Glue that down so nobody knows the difference. I think I need an in-between temperature on my gun. Just keep flipping it back and forth to kind of what I need. Okay. All right, one more side. Fold back the white part. And we're going to trim off this excess whiteness. When you harvest the elastic off of the Goodnights, you probably, this is just barely hanging on by a little tiny bit. I would guess if I would have cut just a little further over, it would have left this white stuff behind. But I like to have as much length as I can so that got that ability to stretch it, not have it too tight. Okay, here we go again. And we'll do the next section. To there. And let's see if we can do one more here. And then the last bit to here. Hot. All right, last thing. We know by now we're just going to flip over that cover flap. Just gonna glue that on a little bit. There we go. Okay. So there we go. I have to pull off all those hot glue spider webs, hot glue webs. Okay, so there you go. That is the end result. And now you've got that stretchable length that if you're able to fit into the Goodnights extra large that go up to 140 plus pounds, then you'll be able to fit into this swim diaper. The fun thing about swim diapers is they contain, if you have an accident, but when you get in the pool or the hot tub or whatever, they don't swell up like crazy and all that sap go everywhere. So that's the front and the back. And if we compare it to one of them, and really quickly the width, I did want to talk about the width. So the width of a Goodnight, this is the front, They are pretty much identical, probably made on the same machine. So from the width perspective, you know, the swim diaper is that same width. So as what we're gaining, or as all we're doing is switching off the elastic sides from the Goodnight to the swim diaper. And like I said, if the Goodnights fit you, the swim diaper will too. It's not going to come up quite as far in the front and back because it is an inch less, but it will fit. And if we look at it to the before, you can see there's a big difference. So we've added all of that on. So there you go. All right. I think that is it for the DIY portion. I will have Daddy help me try this on, and you can see what it looks like on and the finished result. So let's go to that, and then we'll come back. Okay, now we're all ready for swimming. Daddy helped me put on this swim diaper, the little swimmers, and you can see how it looks. The sides, there's still quite a bit of room for stretch. It is a little more of a low rise, just due to it being an inch in the front, lower, and in the back. But that is what it looks like. All right, thanks for joining me today as we went through this DIY. Hopefully it helps you create your own swim diaper. You just need to purchase the Goodnights and some of the little swimmers or a similar swim diaper. It is helpful to kind of keep with the same brand. So Goodnights are made by Huggies and these swimmers are made by Huggies. And so as we went through the process today, you saw where like the front sections actually lined up because they're made by the same manufacturer, probably on the same machine. So yeah, go ahead, go out, get you some of the different items and see how it works for you. Make sure you place your comments in the section below. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. We have a lot of viewers out there who are watching the content, but we'd like to make sure you're subscribed so that you can keep up on all of the new content. Also, I am over on Just for Fans. Take a look over there. There's a lot of content over there that's exclusive to Just for Fans and that you won't find anywhere else. Thanks again for joining. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.